Hey everybody, welcome back to the Kit Cave. Apologies for the lack of updates. It's been crazy busy here the last few weeks, and my time trying to do some work on this kit is somewhat slowed. But back with you, just wanted to give everybody a quick update of progress so far. So here we can see I'm working still on the AMT ERTL USS Enterprise C, the 1450 scale kit. Quite clearly, as you can see, I've been doing some paint work to this, getting the saucer all painted up with some of the colours. Now, I'm not going for screen accuracy with this kit, just colours that I personally like and think look good. So what we're looking at here, then, guys, is the bottom section of the saucer. I'm holding the camera as well in my hand, so I do apologise if it's a little bit shaky. But yeah, this is what I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Any time that I've had in between my quite busy life that's going on at the moment, work and home life, trying to lay down these primary colours to get the grids in. So the grey paint going on, and then the different shades of blue. Got the saucer, the bottom of the saucer here, all done and ready. There's obviously still some more paint work to do, where we've got these little hatches here that need to be painted in, and the phaser rays need to be painted, but I'm kind of going to leave that to last. I just want to, for this kit, get all the primary hull colour laid in place. It's turning out pretty well. There's a lot of time spent doing all the masking, using the tape, cutting thin lines of tape so I can get the curvature coming around the saucer here, and getting the colours laid down. Colours that I used for this pretty much was just one colour, actually. If I just grab the pot, apologies. For the blue, I picked up a pot of this stuff. It's Tamiya medium blue, very, very dark blue. But this has been mixed with white, and I've mixed 2 pots of white, just standard white. Chucked some of this colour in to get the 2 shades of blue, obviously the darker blue, and then the lighter shade with this same colour. I did initially use a light blue colour. I laid down on the bottom here a light blue from Tamiya. Again, it was mixed up with white. If I show you what colour that was quickly, it was this stuff, light blue XF23. Which is a really nice colour. Looking at the top of it, it's great. But when the paint laid down onto the model and it dried, I don't know if you can just make that out. It's got quite a greenish tinge to it. Now, when it actually dried, it dried with quite a stronger hue of green, and it really just didn't look nice. I really didn't like it. I'm sure that this paint is going to be a good paint to use for another application, but for this particular model, yeah, I really wasn't happy. So I had to respray over this whole area by mixing up this dark blue with a pot of white to get this lighter shade. So here we can see the bottom section of the saucer is done. Also, I was working on the top, so this is the top half with the colours laid down. I still got a little bit of work to do here, and again with the phaser banks and the I can't remember what you call those things, escape hatches, the abandoned ship, the little shuttles that all come flying out. Excuse me. But yeah, it's coming along, and it's looking quite nice. I do like these colours. This section is quite dark. When you look at photographs of the studio model that was used, this was a very, very light blue, but I do like this colour. It's looking really good. It's got a greyish tinge to it as well, which is quite nice. So yeah, it's coming along well. Also, while I've been painting up the top section, I've been trying to maximise my time doing the masking, and I've been working on the hull section. You can see here I've got the grid pattern in on the bottom. Started to put in some additional hull panel lines here. Still some more hull panel lines to do along the top edges here on both sides, and more towards the back. I have to get this one completed, but here you can see both sides. Grid pattern is down, and it's looking pretty good. I'm very pleased with how this colour is turning out. It's looking great, and that's kind of where I'm at the moment with this kit. I've still got the warp nacelles to do with this blue colour, so that's going to be next on the list of jobs to get completed before I then go around and start doing all of these little hatches here, and the phaser banks, and all the little separate colours, and the bits of the yellow on the sides here. What I was doing last weekend for the little time that I had, is I started to go around the bottom of the saucer section here, and I started to fill in these windows. So some of them I've done. Now it's very hard to see on camera because some of them have been done, but you can't see it because they're clear. But I'm going to show you the process at which I do this and what I use to fill these windows in. Now, you know, there are lots of different products you can use, clear substances. You know, you can buy clear resins, UV resins, which I've got, and I'm sure many of us have. They can be quite pricey for UV curing resin. I've got a little bit of overspray there, but that's okay. I can sort that out. That's not a problem. Really good stuff. But what I like to put into these open windows is, and it's a product that a lot of modelers tend to use, and it's just standard PVA glue. It's just white PVA glue that dries clear, and it does the job quite well. Doesn't have to be fancy stuff. What I picked up a few years ago was I picked up some of this stuff. Formula 560 canopy glue, as people call it. The world's best. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. It is pretty good stuff. It's standard PVA glue. It dries clear. It says there it's fast drying. It is. It takes about an hour to cure, depending on ambient temperature. But really, really good stuff. However, this can be quite pricey. I can't remember, you know, how much I paid for this. But you can, for this, just use standard white PVA glue. This is something I picked up at a local hobbycraft. No, it is hobbycraft store, and it'll do the same thing. As long as it dries clear, job is done. Now, one of the reasons for filling in these windows is the light. It's the light that shines out. Now, with the light, and I will try and turn it on, so bear with me while I demonstrate in just a moment. Filling up these windows with this clear glue, when you've got the light switched on, when you're looking at the model kit face down like this, you know, the light, it works. The lights shine through. It's brilliant. But what tends to happen is as you start to look at the model from different angles, so as you start to turn it and you're kind of looking at it like this, the light coming through the windows tends to be a little bit washed out. And so the reason that I find for filling in these windows with the PVA glue is that when you start to turn the model like this, it catches the light internally and kind of brings it to the surface of the window ports, and it doesn't look quite so faded. And I'll try and demonstrate that for everybody in a moment. How I get this glue into the windows is a very, very simple technique. It is a little bit time consuming, but well worth doing. Again, apologies for my shaky camera work here. And quite simply, all I use is one of these things. Little toothpick or cocktail stick, little pointy stick, like that. All I do is get a little dab of the white glue on there, go to the little window port, and I'll simply just I'm trying to do this on camera and it's not working. It's very hard. And all I do is I'll just lay the glue in like this, and I'll rub it in. I try to keep the pick as straight as I possibly can. I can't do this looking at the camera screen, apologies. And I'll put it in like this. Not demonstrating very well here, and I'll just lay the glue in, and I'll just keep laying a little bit more glue in. I'll let it pool within this window until it reaches the surface, and that's it. And that's it, and then just literally let it dry. Move on to the next one, do the same thing. Being PVA glue, if you get a little bit of overspill on the side of the saucer, it's not a problem. You can wet your fingers. Sorry, I've got very dirty fingernails today. You can wet your fingers, or you can get a clean cloth, or even a bit of tissue, bit of kitchen paper, which is damp, and just simply wipe it over, and the glue comes off absolutely fine. And that's kind of where I am. That's what I did. So I've got these two little window ports up here filled in with glue. Round the back here, I've managed to fill it in. It's very difficult to see where I got up to. So this section here and this section here has all been filled in with the glue for the windows. And I'm kind of at this point here. I'm working my way around and coming around the top here, which is what I'm going to be spending some time doing today. On that piece. What I'll then do is, of course, let all that dry, flip the model over. I'll do it on the top section and on the ports here on the side, the window ports here on the side, and that kind of seals it all up quite nicely. And then it's a case of getting the clear plastic piece, the kit piece that came with the model, into this section, and then I can carry on with the paint jobs coming round. And then, of course, the other paint job to do is get the black paint, get some black paint, and let it pool inside these windows that haven't been drilled out. And that's all the windows done. So let me try and show you just very quickly, if I pop the camera down, how I like to do this. This is a bit of a demonstration for everybody. Get my glue out. Again, it's going to be a little bit tricky for me because I'm trying to hold the camera. I really do need to come up with a better camera rig system and clean up my workspace here because it's quite cluttered. I don't generally like working in a cluttered work environment. It's not good. So a little bit of glue on. That's all I've done. Just dipped it straight in the pot. As you can see, that's about as much glue as I want on the end of the pick. You can see that. Just rub a little bit of that off. Just try and get it more towards the tip. And what I'll do with this, come over to the model, find where I am. Let's look at this one. And I will try and get it in there and just let it. I know it's hard to see because of the light. I'll just let it pool within that recess there, so you can kind of just see I've just filled that in. So we were looking at this one right here. It's going to need a little bit more, so let me put the camera down, get a bit more on the pick. There we go. You can see in the background there, sat on the top of my 3D printer, is the Warp nacelles, which need to have the primary colours laid down onto them. And I'm going to try and make a start on that this weekend. So I've got a little bit more on the pick. Coming back over to this window, and again I'm just putting the tip in, just letting it pour, letting the glue run into that recess to get that filled up. As we go there, wipe a little bit off, that's come off, and there we go. You can see now it's white, it's filled in, and that's the window in place. And then now it's just a simple case of just let that dry. And as I said, with this canopy glue that I'm using, I might try and add just a little bit more in there just to bring it a bit more to the surface. This canopy glue does dry very, very quickly. So it is true what it says on the bottle there. It's really, really fast drying stuff. With other PVA glues I found, although they're nice and cheap and they still do the same job, the drying time can vary. Some PVA glues I've used in the past for doing this, it's taken nearly 24 hours for it to dry. Which is okay, if you ever have a day where you're just filling in windows and then leaving it overnight. By the morning of the following day, it's all dried in and it's clear and all cured, which is quite good. But there we go. So I've just added a little bit more in there. I'll bring the camera back over, and we can see now that's brought the window up to the surface. And as I said, that now catches the light coming from the backside of the inside of the model and brings the light to the surface to really make those windows shine out. And that's where I am. That's kind of what I'm going to do this morning. Going to keep going around all these windows, doing the same process, get them all filled in, and let it cure before I move on to anything else. If I just pop the camera back down, I'm going to plug this up to the power. Apologies for my hand there going in front of the camera. There we go. You can see what I mean. I've got a cluttered workspace. I really do need to spend some time to clean up my workspace here. So let's get this connected to power, and hopefully it'll show up on camera the difference and the benefits of why I'm doing this. I'll just plug this in a minute. While I'm doing this, I hope everybody is okay, and I hope you've all had a fantastic week and are enjoying a fantastic weekend. Again, as I always say, a big thank you to everybody that subscribed to my channel and hit all the like buttons on the videos. It is very much appreciated. I am trying to find a better process to do these videos and a little bit more time. But there we go, that's my power now connected. So let's get this switched on. There we go. So there we go. So you can kind of see what's going on here. So with the lights on, as I said, when you look at the lights in this manner, in actual fact, I will just turn the lights off here in the cave so that you can see this a bit better. There we go. So that looks really good, really good. But as you can see, when you look at the lights here at the top, looking straight down on top of it, yeah, it works. The lights are shining, it looks great. The problem is then when you start to turn, and if you look at the right hand side of the model along the edge as opposed to the section in the middle and off to the left, you can kind of see the difference. It's demonstrating it quite well. So you can see on the left, these have had the windows filled in with the clear PVA glue, and it's catching the light and bringing it right to the surface. Whereas over here to the right hand side, it's got a little bit of a blue tinge to it, and that's because the light's being washed out obviously because it's inside the model. And so that's the benefit of spending some time and filling in these windows to do that. And as you rotate the model around, you can see, you know, you can kind of see the difference. It's a very subtle difference, but you know, you can make it out as you turn the model. Look, so comparing the right hand side to the left hand side, that's been filled in, and it helps. You can see it there, that window right in the middle. You've got a little bit of a hot spot, and it helps to smooth down that hot spot somewhat. So it's a bit of a time-consuming process, certainly when you've got a big model and lots of windows to fill in, but it's well worth doing in the long run. And again, flip it over to the top, lots of lights going on there. And all these windows need to be filled in. And there we are. So there we go, everybody. Quick update for you all. Again, apologies for the shaky camera work. I will be investing some time a bit later on figuring out a new camera rig system for this to make these videos a little bit better. But just thought I'd share a quick update as to where I am with this kit. Let's get the lights back on before I fall over and break something. That's where I am. That's the update. I'll carry on then. I'll carry on today, get these windows in, and then start masking up some more, laying down some more of this blue colour. A little bit more to do on the hull section here, and then make a start on the nacelles over here to start get this primary colour in. And then it really is a case of just finishing off with some of the little detail colours, get all that laid in. I've got a little bit of a repair work to do on the front edge here. That's because some of the filler that I used for the seam line here, actually it came off, which I was quite annoyed about, but that's okay. I've rubbed it all back so I can respray that with a bit of grey paint. And there we go. I can start then connecting all these bits together. I can then get the circuit board made up to get all the lights flashing. I can go back in. I'm going to be using the clear UV resin in these ports to pull them up, put a little dab in there to give it the little dome for the flashing lights there, and start getting this all connected. And I can then start working on the base to get this model completed, and of course lay down the decals and then hit it all over afterwards with a bit of sealant. Probably going to be using some Tamiya sealant again, not obviously a clear gloss, not a gloss coat, but like a semi-gloss coat, just to seal everything in, and then it'll be done. All be done. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm trying to get there as quickly as I can. But as I said, timing wise, it's been a heavy few weeks, but there we go. And of course, whatever time I do have, I'm trying to spend working on this model. Also, I'm on the computer as well, still working on my my 1/6 scale figure, working in Blender for Gates McFadden, and I'm trying to get that one completed. But again, it's all in bits and pieces, and it's a very time-consuming process. This, but you know, we do it because we love it, and so the time really isn't that much of an issue. It's the end result that's what we're looking for. I wish I could do this full time, but sadly, you know, like a lot of us, I have to work full time. You know, have to earn the beer tokens. That's what keeps the hobby going. But there we go. I'll stop rambling. I just had a complete brain fart moment there. I do apologise. I completely forgot what I was going to say. That's because it's Saturday morning. It's Saturday morning and I've had a heavy week. I'm not quite sure I'm still awake. There we are, everybody. Quick update. I'll crack on. I'll try and do another update video for everybody as soon as I possibly can. But thanks for watching. Hope you all have a great weekend. Please do drop me any comments, any questions in the comments section. And again, thank you for people that have done that, and I do respond to each and every one of them as best I can. Always happy to share some information and guidance and answer questions and tips where needed. But you all take care now, and I'll be back with you soon with another update. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.